Good evening, everyone. Today is Saturday, September 3rd, 2011, and I am going to be talking about the use of Code 96, a different form of accepted for value. And here I am showing you an example of how you should write it out. Now, this is my first time trying this, so I don't know if it works or not, because I no longer have a post office box address. After I lost contact with that woman and couldn't get the rest of the steps, I just figured I might as well let it go. Because what's the point of holding a post office box address if you don't know the rest of the steps, right? But anyways, and her name is Jeannie. She's a woman that I cannot get a hold of anymore. Anyhow, the woman on the A4V group said that all the other steps from 1 through 6 is so you can get diplomatic immunity, your sovereign rights. And if you go to www.coppermoonshinestill.com or something like that, I'll post a link on the description box below the video, so you can click on there, and it gives you a PDF if you have an Adobe Reader that you can edit the PDF, the reservation of rights PDF form, or you can download the Word document there, and it has a bunch of other information that you can read. But anyhow, getting back to this, so as you can see in the instructions that this woman told me, she says that you have to first send yourself a letter registered mail from the hospital you were born, from your all capital letter name. You know, it has to be your, if you have a middle name, it has to be your first, middle, and last name in all capital letters. From the address of the name of the hospital and the address of the hospital and the city and state and zip code, all that, blah, 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 sent to you, the living person, in your upper and lowercase name, sent to your post office box, or as she likes to say, your suite address, and city and state and zip code. You have to do that first. And this is the woman Jeannie. When I was fortunate enough to talk to her the one time before, never being able to contact her again, and she also said that you have to get all your bills put in your in your name that's on your birth certificate. And she said, for example, if you have a middle initial on your birth certificate, then you have to have your bills coming in with your first name, your middle initial, and your last name. Or if you have a middle name, a full middle name, you'd have to have all your bills coming in your first name, your middle name, and your last name. And she says it's difficult, but it can be done. So I'm going to try that. As you can see with this example that I did with my Comcast bill, it comes in my first and last name. So I'm going to go back to Comcast and T-Mobile and have them put my middle name as my first name, because, you know, like my youngest stepson, his name is John Thomas, and that's his first name. And his name is John Thomas Scott Potter. You know, sorry, didn't mean to give that information out. Anyways, so I'm gonna do that with Comcast and T-Mobile. But she says it has to be that way. Now, if she says it has to be, and it's the woman with all the information, you know, I suggest you go ahead and do it. But she says in order to use Code 96, you have to first send yourself that letter registered mail. Not certified mail, registered mail. So, this is what, in the instructions that she gave me, she says on the top of the bill, you to write executor of state. And as you can see in my example, I use my full middle and last name. And underneath that, you write remittance, use Code 96, and the number 96 is written in red. She says circle it in red ink. And then you draw a line from the red circle all the way down past the perforated mark where you would intend to send your payment. And this is done also in red ink. And you have to draw a box in that detachable area, but you don't detach it. I don't believe you detach it or not. She didn't say to do it, so I take it that you don't. And you write in that red box credit already paid in red ink in all capital letters, and underneath that you're supposed to write in black ink birth certificate, and as you can see it says number, and this is in black ink, and then you have a pound sign that's in red ink, and then you write your birth certificate filing number, which in the example which she gave me was some guy who did this with his mortgage, and it had all his information, his social security number and his birth certificate, but I'm not posting that because it's just I don't feel I should, so I figured I'd do it this way and show you how I think it should be done. From what I'm reading, it seems very simple, and you write your birth certificate number in red ink along with the pound sign, and underline your birth certificate file number in red ink. And it says in the instructions, underneath the red line, write tax ID, SSI in lowercase, and then you write your social security number, which mine's is, well, as the example, I have 123-45-6789, and that's it. You know, and then she goes on to say, send it straight back to the vendor. You don't send it to the IRS or anything like that. You send it straight back to the vendor, that they know what to do with this. They automatically know what to do with this. So, you know, this is the example. I did this with my Comcast this month. I did it with my T-Mobile this month. But I also did it with my regular A4V template that I use, because I noticed something strange when I started endorsing the back on the lower right hand corner of the form, or you detach the coupon section at, I added a few words to it, you know, along with what I normally always write, which is credit to. And since I did that with my Comcast bill, I noticed that my Comcast bills are coming in a lot later than they normally do. And as you can see, this one is past due. It says I owe $230. And this was postmarked for, I think this came in on the 25th of August, this bill. It says the only payment they received was on the 7th of August. Oh, 7th of July. So even though it says I owe money, and I'm going on to 1, 2, it sounds a little weird, but I haven't gotten a disconnect notice or anything like that, because I would write on the back for deposit only to U.S. Treasury, all capital letters in blue ink, and then after that, underneath that, I would write credit to Comcast in all capital letters in blue ink, and then I'd autograph my name, then I'd write underneath authorized representative, then I send it off to the IRS. But ever since I started doing that with Comcast, I haven't done it with my T-Mobile bill, because for some reason, I just finally got a T-Mobile bill. I haven't paid a T-Mobile bill in like 2 or 3 months. And it's not because I A4V'd it or not. Although, I don't know if my A4Vs had anything to do with it. I can't prove that. But I do know that I had a FlexPay account, and I transferred over to a regular contract account, and they credited my account with, I think, $180 or something like that. I can't remember. And yeah, I think it was more than that. But all I know, I didn't pay for my cell phone bill in like 3 months, and I finally got a bill, I think a day or two ago. I think it was yesterday, and it's for $135. But it always said, when I check on my T-Mobile account, it says, you know, there was this much left on my account. And I'm like, how the hell did that happen? So so now I did code 96 with my T-Mobile bill, and I also did the regular A4V way that I normally do, but this time I'm gonna add the credit to. I added the credit to T-Mobile on the back of it, because I know strange stuff started happening with my Comcast bill. So, you know, since I started doing that, and through my experience in using the accepted for value method, the only three things that I could never ever get remedy or discharge is my Comcast, my T-Mobile, and my State Farm. I got a State Farm bill the other day, and so I'm gonna do it both ways with that. I want to use my regular A for V method, and using the word credit to State Farm, and then I'm gonna also do the code 96 and send it straight to State Farm. Now I did get a letter today from Comcast. However, they want me to upgrade to Xfinity, which is rather strange considering that according to this bill that you're seeing right now, I owe them $230. But it says the only payment I've ever made was on the 7th of July. And remember, I got this bill on the 5th, because I remember the postmark says the 25th or something like that. So I'm a little tired, so I'm looking at it and I'm like, I owe $230. Well, if I got this like a week ago. So, you know, if I got this a week ago, it was well past the due date. Anyways, I just, you know, like I said, ever since I wrote credit to Comcast on the back of the A for V, strange stuff has been happening to my cable service. I mean, not to the service itself, but at least with the billing. But yeah, like I said, I got a letter from her. It was says important action required. We're upgrading our network. Check all of your TVs to see if you have the right digital equipment. Talking about Xfinity, which I'm thinking about getting Xfinity, but yeah, my TV that I have in my bedroom is good for that, because it's got all kinds of connections on there. I mean, it has like big heavy duty like computer cable connections on there, and you know, it's like one plug, but it has a bunch of little male jacks into it. So I'm sure that's that cable. But anyhow, so this is the example. This is how it's done, and I hope it works for you. But remember to, you know, that you have to send yourself that letter, registered mail, because she did tell me on the phone that 9-digit number on the registered letter sticker is the strong man's Social Security number now, and it's on record. So there you have it. I hope this helps. But yeah, you're gonna need a black, a red, and a blue ink to do this. I know you probably can't tell that the Social Security number is in blue ink, but it is. That's the only blue ink on this form when I did this whole thing, because I took the example of what she showed me. So there you go. I hope this helps, and I hope it works for everyone. Have a great weekend, and have a safe and wonderful Labor Day holiday.